Colombians are people identified with the country of Colombia. This connection may be residential, legal, historical or cultural. For most Colombians, several of these connections exist and are collectively the source of their being Colombian. Colombia is a multi-ethnic society, home to people of various ethnic, religious and national origins. As a result, majority of Colombians do not equate their nationality with their ethnicity but with allegiance to Colombia. While embracing and espousing the aforementioned simultaneously, the majority of the Colombian population is made up of Old World immigrants and their descendants. Following the initial period of Spanish conquest and immigration, different waves of immigration and settlement of non-indigenous peoples took place over the course of nearly 6 centuries and continue today. Elements of Amerindian and more recent immigrant customs, languages and religions have combined to form the culture of Colombia and thus a modern Colombian identity. Estimates of the mestizo population in Colombia vary widely, as Colombia's national census does not distinguish between white and mestizo Colombians. According to the 2005 census, the mestizo and white population combined make up approximately 86% of the Colombian population. But there is no official estimate of the mestizo population exclusively. Most Colombians of European descent are primarily descended from Spanish settlers, while other Europeans arrived during the 19th and 20th centuries. These migrations primarily brought Irish, British, Dutch, German, Ashkenazi Jewish, Swiss, Danish, Norwegian, Portuguese, Belgian, Russian, French and Italian immigrants who migrated to the Caribbean region. There are smaller numbers of Polish, Hungarian, Bulgarian, Lithuanian, Ukrainian, Czech, Greek and Croatian communities that immigrated during the Second World War and the Cold War. Originally, Colombia's territory was inhabited entirely by Amerindian groups. Colombia's indigenous cultures evolved from 3 main groups: the Quimbayas, who inhabited the western slopes of the Cordillera Central, the Chibchas, and the Kalina. The Muisca culture, a subset of the larger Chibcha ethnic group and famous for their use of gold, were responsible for the legend of El Dorado. Today, indigenous people comprise roughly 3.4% of the population in Colombia. More than 50 different indigenous ethnic groups inhabit Colombia. Most of them speak languages belonging to the Chibchan and Caraban language families. Historically, there are 567 reserves established for indigenous peoples and they are inhabited by more than 800,000 people. The 1991 Constitution established that their native languages are official in their territories, and most of them have bilingual education systems teaching both native languages and Spanish. Some of the largest indigenous groups are the Weu, the Ajacos, the Muisca, the Kuna people, the Witatu, the Paez, the Tacano and the Guaibo. The departaments with the biggest indigenous population are Cauca, La Guajira and Nariño. Colombia's Asian community generally refers to those of East Asian, South Asian and Southeast Asian ancestry. In 1928, several Japanese families settled in Valle del Cauca where they came as farmers to grow crops. Between 1970 and 1980, it was estimated that there were more than 6,000 Chinese immigrants in Colombia. Their current communities are found in Bogotá, Barranquilla, Cali, Cartagena, Medellín, Santa Marta, Manizales, Cúcuta and Pereira. There are also smaller Asians that immigrated to Colombia, such as Indians, Koreans, Filipinos and Pakistanis. Many Colombians have origins in the Western Asian countries of Lebanon, Jordan, Syria and Palestine, though they are generally not included as part of the Asian Colombian population. Many moved to Colombia to escape the repression of the Turkish Ottoman Empire and of financial hardships. When they were first processed in Colombia's ports, they were classified as Turks. It is estimated that Colombia has a Lebanese population of 700,000 direct descendants and 1,500,000 who have partial ancestry. Most Syrian Lebanese immigrants established themselves in the Caribbean region of Colombia in the towns of Santa Marta, Lorica, Fundación, Aracataca, Apal, Calama, Ciénaga, Cerrate, Monteria and Barranquilla near the basin of the Magdalena River. Many Arab Colombians adapted their names and surnames to the Spanish language to assimilate more quickly in their communities. Some Colombian surnames of Arab origin include Guerra, Lara, Cristo, among other surnames. There are about 8,000 Colombians of Jewish origin who practice Judaism. Most of them live in Bogotá. Colombia's Jewish community includes Sephardi Jews from countries such as Syria and Turkey also immigrated to the country and run their independent religious organizations. The Confederación de Asociación Judía de Colombia coordinates Jews and institutions that practice the religion. Consequently,